I'm not fully match fit because I've not played, and the only way to get match fit is to play matches. So, but what I would say is that I've been training for a long period of time with good players, good intense training, but I need games. So I'm ready to play, I'm ready to be selected by the manager, and I'm looking forward to it as well. You know, when you've been training for a long period of time, as a footballer, the best thing is playing games, and you know, you train all week to prepare for a game, and I haven't had that, so I'm looking forward to that.
I think that the question that is on everybody's lips is why are you in Denmark? Because I think everybody sees you as a Premier League player and connects you to Arsenal. The dots don't really connect in that sense.
Yeah, no, yeah, it all happened really quick. I had a conversation with one of the coaches, David Reddington. He explained to me about the club and how good it was and how much I'd enjoy it. And he worked with someone who I worked with closely, Roy Hodgson, who, you know, I enjoyed working with. I enjoyed the way he worked, so I knew that Dave would have a similar way of doing things. And yeah, it just went from there really. And then I spoke with Stig, I spoke with the head coach, and I really liked what they were saying. I always said in my career that I wanted to try something different. I think it was now the right time to step out of my comfort zone, you know, step out of England and try something different. So yeah, here I am.
And what about the people who are kind of worried that looking at your match data over the past few years, that they are thinking, okay, maybe he has some way to go. What would you say to those who doubt your ability to come back at the highest level?
To be honest with you, that doesn't worry me because, you know, I've been, as I said before, I've been training at a top club with top players and feeling better and better every day. Yes, playing games is different, but that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to test myself in a different league. You know, I've never ever doubted my own ability. I just wanted to be given the opportunity, and I'm really thankful to the club and Stig for giving me the opportunity to come here and play some games.
Yeah, skal vi andre komme til, Klaus?
Yes. All right.
David Nielsen, he wants to play with high intensity and high pressure. How do you think you fit into that playing style?
This is a playing style that I like. You know, I always said all the teams that I played in have tried to do it that way. I prefer playing in teams that like to win the ball back in the opposition's half because it means you get more of the ball in dangerous places, and it's less running for everyone. You know, it's more intense, but I prefer that type of playing than, you know, sitting back and waiting for opposition. So that is another reason why I came here. I spoke to the manager about that, and he was clear on that. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to playing that way.
You've been without a club for 8 months. Do you think that you have the ability to make a difference and impact on the team right now, or how do you know that you have that?
Well, the only way I can find that out is by playing games. As I said before, I've always had confidence in my ability. I've been without a club, but I've been training for, you know, 4 or 5 months. So I've always, every day has been the same, where I wake up, play football and prepare for training. So I haven't lost that feeling. The only feeling that I lost is the match days, and something that I really miss, and I wanted to have that feeling again, so that's why I'm here.
Yeah. You said that this transfer happened rather quickly, and I just wanted to ask you, how confident are you that you can find the motivation to perform at your highest level here at AGF?
Well, I know that I'm motivated more than anything, and one thing that has shown that to me is being without a club. Yes, training, but as I said before, the one thing that every footballer, and especially me, misses when you don't have it is that match day feeling. You know, preparing for a game, running out there in front of fans. So I know that I'm motivated. There's no doubt about that. I just need games as quick as possible to get up to to the level, but I'm excited and ready to do that.
Dennis?
I've read in the English press that Como, the Serie B side in Italy, was interested in you as well. Going on a free for so long, how many clubs have contacted you and your agent about a signing?
I had a few clubs, a few conversations with different teams in England and across Europe. But to be honest, none of them felt right, and I can't tell you what it was about these conversations I had here, but they just felt right, and it felt like the right time to leave England, as I said, and yeah, it just felt right.
Does it matter that there's an English manager at the club as well?
You mean English coach?
Yeah.
No, not really, because being at the club today, everyone speaks English. So no, it didn't. That was something, obviously, that there was a connection there straight away when we spoke on the phone. As I said, he worked with Roy, I worked with Roy, and I could tell in his voice and the way he spoke about football that, I've worked with someone like that before and really enjoyed it. So it definitely helped, but it wasn't the deciding factor.
Yeah, nice.
Jack, you played with Niklas Bentner at Arsenal. Stig Inger also knows Bentner for his time in the Rosenborg. Did you reach out to Niklas to hear about AGF and the Danish Superliga?
No, I didn't reach out to Niklas. I spoke to a few people who I know have worked in the Danish league, not here, but worked in the Danish league, and they were very positive. They said that it would suit my style of play. But I will reach out to Niklas to see how he is and see his thoughts about this.
Yeah, Dom?
You just had a training with the team. What is your first impression of the teammates?
First impression was it was a short session because a few players had a day off, a few players played in the game, so it was short and sharp. Very technical session, and they're very good technically. That's what I expected, really. Having played with Bentner and seen Danish players in the Premier League, they're always very good technically. They can play with the ball, just like me, really. So that's why I'm here. And yeah, my first impressions were technically very good.
You have been taking some of your coaching badges in England as well. Is part of the plan of being in AGF that you will be a part of mentor and maybe even coach some of the youth teams, or help coach some of the youth teams?
Yeah, that was one of the questions that I asked the club, and I think they were very happy that I asked that question. It's obviously a passion of mine that I've recently found in coaching over the last few months. But as well, like stepping into another culture, another country, and seeing the way they work, I think it will help me going forward with my coaching.
Klaus, yeah?
Quite a few fans turned up today for training. You're used to training in a very closed environment, obviously in a club where 150 or so will be normal staff.
Yeah.
But what was it like to see that impact? Did you expect it, or was it a surprise to you?
That was a surprise, to be honest. I've been at clubs where you have like one open training session before a big game, before Champions League, and the media allowed in for the first 15 minutes. So it's something different, but I quite liked it. Seeing all the fans there. You can really feel like the club and the community is one. I felt that as well from the love that I've been getting on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram from the fans has been unbelievable, really. So yeah, it's new for me, but something that I'm looking to enjoy, really, because listen, every club that I've been at, I've had a special relationship with the fans, and I think that really helps. So I'm looking to develop that.
Top there.
You just mentioned that you had other clubs interested in you, but why did you choose to come to this town and to this club?
As I said, I can't tell you what it was, but there was a feeling inside me. I spoke with my family, with my wife, with a few people at Arsenal, and when you get that feeling, it's quite a unique feeling in football that you have to follow it, and that's what I did. You know, before, if you'd have asked me 5-10 years ago, am I going to play in Denmark, I would have probably said no. But you know, here I am. I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I'm excited about it as well.
Is it the plan that you're going to take your family with you to Denmark?
Yeah, so I'm going to bring them over when I'm settled, and I think that's important as well, that they feel part of it. You know, they're a big part of my life. They are my life, and I want them to be part of it as well.
So Dana, baby.
A lot of the fans are very excited to have you on the team. What can they expect from you now that you have joined the team?
I've always been a winner, so you know, sometimes I probably overstep that line on the pitch where I'm aggressive. But over the last couple of weeks as well, looking into the Danish league and watching some games, it's quite an aggressive league anyway, so I'm looking forward to that challenge of it. I'm still the same player in terms that I like to get on the ball and commit players, you know, take players on and try and make things happen. So yeah, a lot of that really, a lot of the same, and trying as best I can to help the team.
How have you experienced these last 7 or 8 months being without a club?
At the start it was difficult because I had a similar experience last year. Well, I think it was about 3-4 months, and then I joined Bournemouth. And then I was in a similar situation at the end of last season where I thought things would happen a little bit quicker, but they didn't. And then Arsenal were really good to me. You know, they reached out to me. They invited me back to train, to continue and develop my coaching side of the game. And that really helped, being around lads, being around the dressing room, training with other players. So yeah, that helped, but before that there was some difficult times, yeah.
Dennis?
Since leaving Arsenal, you have had a tough time not playing many games. Can you put some words on that period, that last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, I had some frustrating times. I joined a great club in West Ham. You know, I grew up supporting West Ham, so it was a dream of mine to play for them. And yeah, I mean, it started okay, and then difficult times with injuries. You know, having not falling out with the manager, but a manager having a different way of thinking. But that can happen in football, and you know, all I was trying to do was make sure that I was ready to play, and unfortunately things didn't work out there. And then, as I said, I was without a club. Then joined one of my former clubs, Bournemouth, played some games, had a good time, enjoyed myself, and then I was ready to kick on from there. And it didn't happen as I wanted, but you know, that's football. You know, I've learnt a lot over the last 8 months, probably more than I've ever learnt in my whole career in terms of off the pitch, mentally, and the other side of the game. But as I said before, I'm grateful to the club here that they've given me this opportunity to come over here and experience something new and hopefully get some games.
Yes. Jack, what about your wife and kids? You say that they're going to move to Aarhus. What do they think about this new adventure, moving from London to Aarhus? That's a bit different.
Yeah, but they're excited. You know, they've always been very supportive of me in everything that I've done. This is a new experience for me, moving country, and it's going to be a new experience for them. So that's why I said I want to do it with them together. Yeah, they're excited. I mean, I don't know much about the city, but what I've seen so far is a beautiful place. The players today were telling me how nice it is. So yeah, they're looking forward to it.
So what
Niklas, thank you for your call. What do you think are some of the key learning points that you, as someone with your career, can push on to the younger players at AGF?
I think first and foremost it's important that I learn the style of play. I have an idea of the way the manager wants to play, but obviously I can improve that and get used to it in training. And then, you know, the lessons that I can teach the young players or the players here is probably what I've learned over the last 8 months is make every session count. You know, every training session is important. You know, it's the best job in the world when you're going out there and you're playing, you're training with your friends, you're enjoying yourself. But yes, enjoy yourself, but make sure that you get everything you can out of the session.
You have history with some injuries throughout your career. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have ended up in AGF, or what do you think about that?
Well, as I said, if you'd asked me 10 years ago, would I be in Denmark? Probably no, but the way that things have happened and the way that my career's gone, I'm here, and that's football. Some of these things always happen in football, you know, with previous players. But one thing I can say is that I've been training for a long period of time now. I feel really good. You know, I wouldn't have come over here and changed everything, and if I didn't think that I was capable of doing it, and my body wasn't. So I'm ready for games, and I'm excited about it.
I guess that in England you don't talk a lot about the Danish league.
No.
What do you know about the Danish league and the other clubs?
I know only from the last 2 weeks, if I'm being honest. You know, when I first started speaking with the club, obviously wanted to do some research. I know some Danish players in England, obviously Eriksson, Bentner, and I've watched the national team as well. So I know what the level is, and I know what Danish players can do. So yeah, I'm going to continue with studying, especially our team, my new team that I'm in. You know, the way they play, the players around me. I think that's important that I know them, and yeah, and then just try and train as much and take as much information from the coaches that I can.
Talk about
moving the family here. I wrote quite an extensive interview on the Athletic where you also talked about some of the nicknames that you had to kind of go into a confrontation with a dad because his son had called to your son had named Jack Wilshere. I mean, that you had to go into that. I mean, do you also need that kind of, I mean, first and foremost, what do you feel about those nicknames? And do you feel like also you need to get out of kind of a negative spiral that maybe was surrounding you in England? Is that also a reason?
I think, yeah, that's a fair point, you know, and that's probably why, you know, a lot of clubs were reluctant to take a chance on me because of my history, and I always said as well that I probably do need to get out of England to get away from that. But also, you know, if I look at it as from a positive, from the start of my career, I always said I want to play abroad and experience something different. And I've got the opportunity to do that now. And in terms of the nicknames, you know, I can take it from anyone. And that's what I said from the start, you know, anyone, social media can be a bad place at times. And I can accept that, I can deal with that. It was just what annoyed me was that at the time, I think my son was 8, that he had to deal with that. But, you know, I dealt with that situation, and I've explained it to him. He's a little bit older now as well, so he can understand it. But he's also excited about being here and coming over here and watching some games.
Yes.
You've had some massive experiences throughout your career, played the World Cup, Champions League, Premier League. Now you're in Denmark. What kind of experience do you think this is going to be, this challenge?
Well, it's a new experience, and I think the thing with new experiences is you don't really know what to expect. And you know, I got an understanding of what to expect, and I saw from training the quality of the players today, and speaking to the manager and the coaches, I know the way the team wants to play. But everything else is going to be new to me, and I've just got to take things as they come and, you know, grow from them.
Yep. What did you do? Saw it down.
Lately you've been training with the Arsenal squad. How was today's training session compared to the one at London Common?
Yeah, a lot of similarities in terms of the possessions. You know, done a lot of them before throughout my whole career, really. So yeah, a lot of a lot of similar things. Bit of running at the end, which no player likes, but we have to do it. So yeah, a lot of similar things.
Dennis, så begynder vi at lukke af.
The coach, David Nielsen, he said that he expects you to feature in some way on Friday. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, as I said, I've been training for what feels like forever now, and at first it was good, and of course every day is good, waking up and going to train with good players. But there comes a time where you just want to play games. It's a unique feeling on a match day when you run out and the fans are there and you're in a game, and nothing beats that feeling. So I want that feeling back as soon as possible. And yeah, I'm ready.
Yes.
You said earlier that you talked to David Nielsen before moving here. What exactly did he say to convince you to change to AGF?
He just spoke about the culture and the way he likes to do things. I spoke to David about him and he was very positive about him, but I think there's no better way to get to know someone than speaking to them, you know, one-on-one, and hearing the way they talk and the way they talk about football. And a lot of the things he was saying was similar to my way that I look at football. You know, enjoyment is a big part of it, because I've experienced that when you don't have it in your life every day, it's difficult, so you have to enjoy it. But at the right times, and then when you have to compete and work hard, then he said that they do that as well. So it's everything I wanted to hear, really.
Vi tager den sidste dag. Du har haft mange kampe.
Do you think you've played the last international cup, or do you still have hopes?
You know what, I haven't really thought about that. It's difficult to be without a club and think about playing for your country, because you know, my only focus was trying to find a club and getting back to playing regular football. And now I've got an opportunity to do that. So to be honest, I haven't thought about that.
Yes, det var en halv time, vi ramte cirka. Tak for alle jeres gode spørgsmål, og tak fordi I kom.